Hear that? That's the sound of you creating your own destiny. While others are waiting in line for brunch, you're spending Saturday in the garage. Because you went to advanceautoparts.com, ordered a platinum battery with a 3-year replacement warranty, and picked it up in-store just 30 minutes later. Now, installing a battery isn't an all-day job, but what the brunch crowd doesn't know won't hurt it. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back to the garage. Visit advanceautoparts.com to learn more.
All right, here we go, family-friendly Steve Austin Show, ready to roll. And you know why we're ready to roll? Because of all the great sponsors who let me do this for you twice a week. So thanks for supporting all of my sponsors. And thanks to Movement Watches for classing up my already classed up wardrobe. And they can do the same for you. And you ain't got to work no second job to pay for the watch. It's affordable, people, and made with all the working men and women of the Steve Austin Show in mind. And have you seen how great these watches look? They got one with a black leather band and an all-black face. You can strap that on your wrist and you will get compliments guaranteed. Movement watches start at just $95, and they are quality watches. There ain't no gimmicks either. The guys behind Movement watches figured something out. They cut out the middleman with huge brand markups, and because of that, the price of a stylish watch finally got affordable. Now you can get a department store quality watch for a fraction of the price. So join their more than 1 million social media followers and get a Movement watch today. Go to Movement Watches. That's mvmtwatches.com/Steve, and they'll give you 15% off your entire purchase. That's Movement Watches, spelled mvmtwatches.com/Steve, and take advantage of 15% off your entire order.
The following program is a podcast1.com production. From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, here's Steve Austin.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I am coming to you from the main streets of Los Angeles, California. I tell you what, folks, it has been one hell of a weekend. They just opened up a brewery not too far down the road from my house. Firestone Walker, welcome to the neighborhood. I tell you what, y'all make some good beer, and I drank plenty of it. I was thinking about doing today's show a review of WrestleMania 32 from Dallas, Texas. Everybody else has already reviewed it, but I haven't been able to get my 2 cents in. So I said, okay, maybe I'll just talk about that show. But then I realized that WWE was in town tonight at the Staples Center for Monday Night Raw, and I figured, you know what? What about rolling down there and talking to a few cats? And the response to Big Cass and Enzo Amore was so astounding on my social media account, my Twitter feed, Steve Austin BSR. You guys enjoyed hearing their stories. So I said, you know what? Let me go down there and talk to Big Cass and Enzo, and we'll do part 2. So that's exactly what I did. Turns out Enzo had been in L.A. for a few days. He's got some stories he's going to share with us. I had a hangover to share with him. Big Cass showed all dressed up in a 3-piece suit. Jesus H. Christ, it was a hell of a damn podcast and a good conversation. Those guys are highly entertaining. They entertained the hell out of me. I wish them all the best in the world, and it was good talking to you again today. And, folks, if you enjoyed the last podcast I did with them, you'll enjoy this one, too. They both got some good stories. And Enzo Amore has got a couple of wheelchair stories that will have you rocking and rolling. That dude is funny. And I'll tell you what. Big Cass bust out the pipes here in a little bit. Big Cass starts singing on the Steve Austin Show podcast here in about 45 minutes, so stay tuned. I'm fixing to bust out in a conversation with these guys. It was interesting rolling down there, man. Got down to the Staples Center, beat all the traffic down there, and I tell you what, I always hate going to downtown Los Angeles because it's such a pain in the ass to get into that Staples Center. I think I circled it twice before I found the right entrance. Anyway, got in there and parked my car, found Big Cass and Enzo. We shot the breeze, saw Kane, saw Dustin Rhodes, saw Cody Rhodes, saw a couple of guys, and I saw Rusev. I got a chance to talk to Rusev because I wanted to apologize to him. We started out there at WrestleMania 32 a couple of days ago. It was 2 weeks ago, last week, whenever the hell it was. And, me and Rusev got into an exchange, and that first damn punch, I hit him right in the damn mouth. And I hadn't talked to him since then. and I got a chance to say, hey, thank you very much. And I'm sorry about hitting you right in your mouth. It had been a long time since I had thrown a working punch. And there was also another reason why I was not so accurate on that punch, as you will hear later on at the end of the podcast with Big Cass and Enzo Amore. I had a few issues with my shoulder. But nonetheless, got a chance to say I'm sorry to the Big Russian, and maybe now he'll start listening to my podcast again. He said that he would never listen to my podcast again because of the assault that night at Dallas, Texas, WrestleMania 32. So anyway, Rusev, crush. Keep going. Enjoy watching you work, and it was good seeing you down there at the Staples Center. Hey, man, I tell you what, Broken Skull Challenge was preempted this past week because I think they had the MTV Music Awards or some kind of thing like that. And so our show got preempted. The toughest show on television got preempted by an award show. Well, this is a podcast. I ain't never won a damn thing. And that damn show, the Broken Skull Challenge, is with all... And that show, the Broken Skull Challenge, without a shadow of a doubt, is the toughest show on television, and it will be back this coming Sunday. And we ain't got too many more episodes to go. Whoop-ass TV, Broken Skull Challenge has been off the charts, and keep watching every single week because there's some big things that are going to happen. I've got two badass returning champions. Watch what happens. It's just the toughest athletes in the United States coming out there and laying it down. I've been real proud of them. But anyway, hey, I'm going to get right to Big Cass and Enzo Amore. I could sit there and talk about my hangover, talk about the Broken Skull Challenge and all that stuff, but let's go ahead and kick it up and get to Big Cass and Enzo. And before I do, if you want a T-shirt, a hat, a beer, a knife, go to BrokenSkullRanch.com, click on the merch button, and you can find everything that is Steve Austin right there. But right now, let's talk about the Works Switch Driver, because it's a power drill that lets you rotate from drill to driver without changing bits, so you can get your honeydew list done quick and easy. And if you ain't married and don't have to worry about a honeydew list, then you'll just like having this one-step power tool at your disposal. And Switch Driver is cordless, too, so no tripping over or getting tangled up in the cord. You don't have to worry about finding an electrical outlet or having an extension cord if you're working outside. The Switch Driver is powered by a 20-volt max lithium battery. The dual chuck is the key. That's what lets you rotate from drill to driver without changing bits, and that's why you'll get your work done twice as fast. Like I said, you can knock out your honeydew list and make your better half happy and make yourself happy, because then you'll have more time to knock back an ice-cold Broken Skull IPA. You can see the Switch Driver in action at Works.com, and when you do, you'll notice that it's a really powerful tool, but it's also lightweight. This is perfect if you're having to get your stuff done on a ladder, if you're hanging racks or installing overhead storage. So go to WorksSwitchDriver.com. That's WORX switchdriver.com and use the promo code Steve at checkout to receive 10% and free shipping. That's WORX switchdriver.com and use my promo code Steve to receive 10% off and free shipping. Double your power and save time. Get yourself a Works Switch Driver.
Hey, MMA fan.
What?
Podcast1.com's own Chael Sonnen has some great news for you.
What's up, guys? This is Chael Sonnen. Starting Friday, April 15th, I will have 2 podcasts a week on the docket. I got Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump, and Podcast One's own good old JR. And for that, you're welcome.
Download Your Welcome with Chael Sonnen now every Wednesday and Friday on the Podcast One app or at podcastone.com. The Steve Austin Show. The Steve Austin Show.
Bada boom, back with the realest guys in the room, part 2. Here's a story. I'm sitting here at the Staples Center, downtown Los Angeles, California. I woke up this morning and I was thinking, man, what in the wide, wide world of sports are you going to do for another podcast? Because you got to turn this thing in to Stacy, and I'm always running late. And I looked and said, well, hell, WWE's coming into town. And I said, I got such a good response from all you people on my Twitter account about having Big Cass and Enzo Amore on the show. I said, man, let me call these cats up and see if they own the WWE roster, because I know they've been doing a lot of stuff down there in NXT. Turns out they're here. They're sitting right beside me. We're talking Los Angeles. We're talking WrestleMania. We're going to get to know them and what they do going up and down the road. Guys, welcome back to the Shizzo. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I was telling you guys before we started, this is the second time I've interviewed you, and it's the second time I've had a hangover while I was interviewing you. Enzo, you look a little rough yourself. What's up?
Nothing, man. Living the dream out here. So I came down to L.A. a little early. Got a couple buddies in town. My little brother goes to college in San Francisco, so he drove down here. And I've just been tearing the hills a new one. Basically, riding in foreign cars with foreign women, doing things that, Enzo Amore would do. Just surrounded myself with 6'5" Victoria's Secret models left and right. Had a wild one last night, it was Sunday going into Monday Night Raw, and it only seemed right, being is that when in Rome, do as the Romans do, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in L.A., out there mingling with the stars, doing things,
That's what Big Cash, you rolled in last night. You didn't come out early. You weren't out here partying with the Victoria's Secret models at 6'5". They've just been a little bit shorter than you. 7 foot tall. You can't teach that. What were you, down in Florida? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, I came from Orlando last night. We flew in, had a layover in Phoenix, and then we got to LAX around 9:30. And, man, it took an hour and a half to get that rental car. The bus didn't come, and then it finally came, and then getting over there, it's like 7 minutes from the airport, and finally got the rental car, and then I picked up Kevin Owens because he was riding with us. He'll be riding with us tonight to San Diego. And I just got to the hotel and just crashed. The day before TV, it's not my thing. I'm not going to be going out. Just kind of going to relax a little bit.
It gets my mind right.
Gets your mind right? Well, tell me about this, because there's a lot to live up to. A certified G and a bona fide stud. Is this some kind of online course that I can learn how to be a certified G and a bona fide stud?
No,
I wouldn't say I'm a bona fide stud. On occasion, I've reached that status, but you make that claim very boldly.
Yeah.
So how is it your relationship with women? You a player? You out there on the scene? You ain't married, are you?
No, I'm not.
Because if your wife is a home listeners podcast, your ass might be in trouble.
No. I'm actually very faithful in a happy relationship with someone. So, I'm out here in the world, but, I keep her, fresh in my mind. And a lot of the time she's the topic of conversation when I do go out places. So, actually, it's funny you should say that. I always said I never had a girlfriend because I refused to commit myself to failure. So it's a very simple concept, but up until about 28 years old, I was a single man, out here just swinging, just doing things that, you would imagine my character, which is basically just me with the volume turned down.
I lived with him for a few years, and boy, was he swinging. Homers, grounders, pop flies, he was hitting them all.
No, man, come on, take it easy. Like you said, my girlfriend could end up listening.
Hey, so did you have a couple cold ones? Do you drink?
Cold ones?
Yeah.
Oh, do I drink? Yeah.
What do you like to drink?
You name it. Hand it to me, and it goes down the hatch, and I'll bend elbows with anybody.
Left your own devices used to walk into a bar, ain't nobody there, and you're going to make a drink for yourself. You're going to grab a beer and make a drink. What?
Yeah, these days, I would love to drink beer, but for what we do and purposes, be known to the world, we take our shirt off on television.
So, brother saying he got to have a trace of abs.
Yes, a trace. A trace is right.
I watched your promo this past week, and I rewatched that match with Dash and Dawson. Go ahead. Because you got to keep the carcass in shape, what are you drinking?
I will drink merlot these days, which is something that I used to rip on Big Cass for when we lived together. Because, you drinking wine? You know what I mean? There's a million things I could go down that road. But, yeah, I would go in on him for drinking wine. And then recently I was out, and I don't know why, but somebody handed me a glass of merlot. And you know me, I'm not a diet guy, and I don't know my ass from my elbow when it comes to these things about health and whatnot. I just know that beer apparently has carbs, and if you drink too many of those, not good for you. So I heard somebody say, like, merlot is the healthy option, and that's all I needed to hear. It's like, all right, dude, just hand me a merlot.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a healthy option, but it's a better option than beer. Damn near anything's better than beer as far as putting a drum on you.
And then me, I'm a big whiskey guy, so I drink.
What kind of whiskey like? I was a Crown guy.
Crown? Well, I do drink bourbon too. Whiskey-esque bourbons. Captain Morgan, Jim Beam, Red Stag is my thing. It's got a lot of sugar in it, but I'll mix up Red Stag with Diet Dr. Pepper, and that's a recipe for disaster right there. That's too good for me.
A regular Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, I'll show you.
A lot of damn sugar there,
brother.
Well, you're lucky you got that trace of abs we were speaking about a while ago.
Yeah, I'm okay in that regard, you know what I mean? I don't have to OD with my dieting and all that stuff, and You know, if I want to have a couple cold ones, you know, I'll have a couple cold ones. I don't really prohibit myself from enjoying life. I'm a liver of life. That's what I like to do the most. And I'm not one of these people who are going to, you know, expense myself because, you know, I saw a great pizza and I was in the, you know, and I didn't eat it. You know, who are you kidding? You know, if I see a good pizza, I want to taste it. And that's all it boils down to. And I don't think that the fans are going to see me on TV and say, oh, Enzo ate a little bit too much pizza. I don't like him as much anymore.
I mean, you don't want to turn into a roly-poly, but I watched you guys again before I talked to you today, and I would say, you know, if Enzo actually put on a pound or two, it's not like I'm saying, oh, man, the dude lost his trace of abs. I don't dig him anymore. It's the swagger. It's the shtick. It's the work in the ring. Big Cass, talk to me. Big drink of water over here. After living with Enzo, will you have a couple of drinks, or you just pretty much play it straight and narrow, go scientific? Because you're in good shape.
Yeah, definitely have a couple of drinks. As of late, I've been on a whiskey kick, mostly Jameson. I think that started on St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, I was home. I didn't have to go to the NXT show, so I said, might as well get some Guinness, and then I was looking for an Irish whiskey, and Jameson is what I grabbed, and since then I've been on a bit of a Jameson kick. Usually if I'm going into a bar, first thing I'll do is take a shot of whiskey and a Bud Light. That's the first thing I'll start out with, no matter where I'm going from there, whether it be, you know, vodka or whiskey or wine. I'll always start with a Jameson or some sort of Jack Daniels and a Bud Light.
Well, that's a good start. That's a good start. That's a good icebreaker. Yeah. Set the tone and then kind of just free flow from there. Let me ask you guys, you said that, Enzo, you came in here a couple of days ago. You got relatives, family, whatnot here in the area. You got there chilling with friends. Big Cash, you just flew in. Picked up Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day, man, we would load a bunch of guys up in a car, and, you know, you're trying to split the, you know, all the bills 3 ways or 4 ways, how many ways you can split it, because that's how you roll. So how is Kevin Owens to travel with?
He's the man.
He's the man.
Yeah, he loves to talk wrestling, and that's what we like to do.
Yeah.
The conversation from this town to the next town, whether it's 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, it's gonna be nothing but wrestling. I mean,
so you guys are still booking the territory.
Of course.
You're still putting yourselves over, coming up with
the
angles.
best booker around.
Yeah,
and nobody knows it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard Big Cass book WrestleManias through 2017. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
what did your big board look like, Cass?
Well, he's on top. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mostly we were booking the NXT territory a few months ago, and a lot of the guys that I had booked in top spots just got called up, like Uha and Corbin, so they kind of ruined my booking scenario down there. So I'm going to have to, you know, go back to the big board.
Matt Bloom's got his hand full with the pencil down.
I'm going to have to go back to the big board and reevaluate the territory down there, because they got some new faces, but a lot of people just got taken out. So NXT is where I'll be focusing my booking on the next week.
Now, you guys ain't youngsters. You're both, give or take, 29 years old. But enter Kevin Owens into the equation. He's probably just a frog's hair older than you guys. But he's a grizzled veteran. Brother's got 12, 13 years in the business, give or take. So is he? Who's the wheelman? Is he driving? Is he navigating?
Kevin's usually wheelman.
Now, here's Big Cass. He's 7 foot tall. Are you always in the shotgun seat? Or does Enzo throw your ass in the back?
Yeah, Cass is either riding, he's either driving, or he's shotgun. Right. And me, I feel like I've been a wheelman my whole life, because all I've ever done is just drive all over the world. And when I was a kid and I got a license, and the second I got a car, I never went back to my house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was just out in the world. And so these days, I find myself the smallest guy. It's not the option, so I don't drive. So I'm always in the back seat. That's just the way the cookie crumbles for me, usually with 0 leg room.
Okay, but Big Cass, you're about 7 foot. Here's the thing. I used to ride with Diamond Dallas Page, and we used to call him the world's tallest 6'4" guy. Because 6'4", that's decent height. Yeah. But, you know, with that being said, he would always have his seat cranked all the way back, and then he would actually even lean his seat back like the people in front of you in an airplane. And so the dude that was behind him was always just totally smoked. You needed to be damn near a midget to ride behind Dallas Page, but he would have no mercy or respect for the dude in the back seat. So we used to rib and just ride him unmercifully because he was the world's tallest 6'4" guy. Yeah. Now, me, I'm real picky when I was on the road, because most time I trust myself with a wheel in my hand.
Yeah.
And Kevin Nash was another good wheel guy. Billy Gunn was a great wheel guy. Mick Foley, I love McFoley to death. Bad Will Man. Dallas Page, Bad Will Man. Dallas Page, even worse navigator, because if I was driving and we was going to some town in Georgia or Carolina or wherever the hell it was, I could know where the town was, where the building was, but by listening to Page, we would end up lost. That's how bad of a navigator Page is. Yeah. And so when you ride with Page anymore these days, which is few and far between, but every now and then I go down to the ATL and visit him, and he's up to all the technology. So he's got Siri telling him where to go on his iPhone. He's got the gimmick GPS device for the backup info. It's absolute insanity. When you guys are going up down the road, if you ain't booking the territory, what kind of music do you guys listen to? Because, Enzo, you're a former DJ.
Yeah.
So what kind of tunes were you spinning, or you were playing tunes, right?
Yeah, so I grew up with a family of DJs. Shout out Premier Entertainment and Anthony Wayne Entertainment up in New Jersey. The best you could get, New York City metropolitan area. I wish I knew their phone number because I'd shout them out. But my mother and my grandmother, they run.
Hang on. Siri, get Anthony's phone number up there in Jersey. Hey.
Yeah, so my dad's a DJ. He owned a DJ business in the 90s. And
so, dude, when you're a DJ, I mean, so what is it? You got a club and you're spinning tunes and you're rapping?
Oh,
I mean,
no.
you're setting the next tunes up. What exactly does that entail these days?
Well, pretty much New York City, North Jersey, you can imagine the type of people that are around there and the extravagant weddings, corporate events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, the things that go on there. People hire DJs. Right. You know, it's not really like the West and the Midwest where you have bands, DJ weddings. A lot of the time people want to hear beats and they want to hear, everything. They want to go up and down the line with their music. Sometimes I hire a band and a DJ. Well, my pops is a wedding DJ. He's always been, and so is my uncles, my cousins, every single one of us. I mean, I have an entire family filled of DJs. So that concerns being an MC, going out on the microphone, here come, introducing to you for the first time as brand new bride and groom, that deal. So I grew up doing that. It was a weird, I guess, upbringing in that regard because I've been working since I was probably like 10 or 12 every once in a while, steady at around the age of 13 or 14, doing, 8th grade parties and bar mitzvahs and stuff, going out there leading kids on the electric slide on the dance floor, the YMCA. I know all the dances, all the moves to these group things, the Macarena and whatever. So that was kind of how I kind of got a microphone in my hand and started entertaining crowds and watching my pops do it. And so my dad's 55 years old, doesn't have a single gray hair on his head. Big Tony, Anthony, he's got jet black hair, slick back, Italian-looking cat, and he's blessed because half the guys his age, I mean, they ain't looking like he does, and at 55, he looks like he's 40, and he's still going out there and DJing these weddings.
I want to get back to the music, but being a DJ at such a young age, having that stick in the hand, and obviously that had to help tremendously your promos that you're now delivering in the ring, because highly entertaining on the microphone. All that repetition, all that time on the mic, growing up, and not being afraid, and leading the charge. Did that help out your promo skills today?
Oh, yeah, certainly did, but, it's, for me, a million times easier to step on a screen and be Enzo Amore than it is for me to sugarcoat who I am, go out there, put on this persona just to please, try and work for a tip at the end of the night. Hopefully the bride's dad likes what I'm doing out here, grease my palm at the end of the night. You're out here just, putting on an act. I'm out there pretending to be, something that I'm not. So you're working for money in that regard, and I appreciate and respect that hustle because I've been a part of it my whole life. The second that I realized that I could go out there and just, be myself on a microphone. Right. I mean, that was just too easy,
All right, we're going to take a minute here to say thanks for supporting all the great sponsors of the Steve Austin Show. I wouldn't be able to do this for you free every week if not for the sponsors, and that includes Weebly. Weebly.com/Austin will help you create your own professional quality website, blog, or online store and make you look like a dang genius web designer and technology guru in the process. Weebly has a wide variety of professionally designed, mobile-friendly themes to choose from. You just pick a theme, and then you drag and drop your content to build and publish your website. It really is is that easy and that fast. And you can update and change your site anytime on any device. You can do it right from your smartphone even. That's the best part. Weebly has this cool app that lets you update your site, add more content, and check your online store orders right from your phone no matter where you are. It's instant access just like social media. You don't have to be at a desk or in an office to work on your website. Creating a fantastic website shouldn't get in the way of your dreams. Join the over 30 million people who are already dreaming big with Weebly. Get started today for free at Weebly.com/Austin. That's Weebly.com/Austin. Let me spell it out for you. WEEBLY.com/Austin. I enjoy the Enzo Amore when you guys come out and do your entrance. And then Big Cass, he's not going anywhere near music. It left you on devices, Enzo's sick, and you're riding down the road. What are you going to have jamming on the radio?
Usually listen to a lot of classic rock, mostly Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, stuff like that. That's mostly what we listen to on car rides. Throw a little hip-hop in there, too, some Jay-Z, some
Well, if I'm
Kanye,
controlling the radio, I'll tell you right now, there's going to be some hip-hop playing.
Yeah,
Hip-hop?
sure. He's the hip-hop guy.
What's Kevin Owens listening to?
He doesn't like music.
Yeah, he's not a big – he just likes to chat and talk wrestling.
He talks, yeah. He loves to talk. And if there's silence in the car for a second, he'll mention it.
Yeah.
Why isn't anyone talking?
Something about Kevin Owens is if he's not driving – if he's got his phone in his hand, nothing gets past this guy on Twitter or Instagram.
Never seen anything like it.
If anyone makes a mistake or says something that we need to talk about, he's on it the second they tweet it.
It's unbelievable.
Nothing gets by this guy.
Nothing gets by this guy.
Yeah, on Twitter. He's got everyone.
He reads every single tweet that anybody's ever posted in the history of Twitter in our business.
So here's the interesting thing, though, because the social media thing is so powerful. I mean, like if the WWE office said, hey, man, you guys all tweet this out, boom, all of a sudden it's trending worldwide because of the strength in numbers and the following that you have. How involved are you guys with that stuff? I mean, because I like to read all my tweets, my mentions. I won't read all the other stuff, but try to see, what's up. And, if I've got something, push Broken Skull Challenge or this, that, or whatever, that's my voice or I use my podcast as well. But almost everybody in Los Angeles, and probably every city that you guys go to, man, these days, if you see a dude driving a car, and if his girlfriend's riding shotgun, or if it's another dude riding shotgun, 8 times out of 10, the person riding shotgun is going to have their smartphone up there typing something in, and because everybody's on a damn phones these days. It kind of halfway drives me crazy. Yeah. Is that you, Big Cass? You into it as hard as Kevin Owens is?
No, I am.
How many are you following, Cass? How many people you following?
0. I'm not good. I'm not good with Twitter or Instagram. Like anything that I get sent to me from fans, I read, and I definitely either favorite or respond to it. Anything that fans send to me, I'm reading. But in terms of putting stuff out there, whether it be a picture or a tweet, I'm real bad with.
I got to get on them sometimes about the Instagram because the WWE I think made you make an Instagram, right? At some point.
Yeah.
But
I'm just not.
He follows 0 people. He had 0 tweets. Your first tweet was about Ron Artest taking the subway to the Knicks game. I remember that.
I'm not good with it. I'm not good with putting myself out there on Twitter, man. It's just not my thing.
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you guys. Big Cass is all slicked down, got his hair back. You got a white button-up shirt on, long sleeve, tie, slacks, a jacket, and then Enzo over here got his hair up and a little thing, and he got a tap-out T-shirt on, and he dressed up like a G. Now, right before I left
I'm
the
a company guy.
Right
this
before
is Tap Out.
I know you're representing Tap Out, but check it out. Right before right before I left the company, that's when they started instilling the dress code kind of back in the day, and kind of gushing the boys and the gals up a little bit, so a little bit of respect going on. And I said, man, I ain't doing that. So I would still roll through the airport with my high-tech Magnum boots. I was pretty much whatever you saw me wearing in the ring was what I was wearing in the airport, minus the 316 shirt. Because back in the day, if you wore your own shirt through the airport, then you was a mark. So it's okay to wear it in the ring because that's when you're going to sell stuff. But if you're wearing your stuff in the airport, that doesn't fly. And it was cool because Vince knew. Well, and also had a little bit of stroke, so he could say, Steve, we need to dress you up. But I say, well, I don't think so, and he'd be cool with it. So what's the story, Big Cass? You just like looking like $1 million, or you like a professional athlete? What's the story here?
Especially showing.
Are you a fashionista?
I'm definitely not a fashionista, but I feel that I look pretty good in a suit. So if I'm showing up to TV, especially live events most of the time, but if I'm showing up to TV, definitely got to wear the suit. Got to be, super professional. That's just how I look at it.
Well, I showed up here today in business casual, okay?
Business casual. Yeah. Your business casual is about like my business casual. I dig it. But you ain't quite looking as sharp as Big Cass over here.
Well, I switched into the tap-out gear. I wanted to get comfortable. This guy, I don't know if that doesn't look like comfort to me. So I switched out into so they gave us the option, okay? We had this talk. Right. Mark Carano, he's in charge of things like this. He sits us down. He says, here, I'm going to give you a duffel bag. It's filled with tap-out clothes, okay? Or you could wear business casual.
Right.
I said, well, I mean, this is a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Oh, sure, no problem. I mean, they really cornered us, put us in put up against a wall here. Hey, it's either tap-out or business casual. Either way, represent the company. Well, I'll do the tap-out thing. So I don't mind it whatsoever. I think I'm going to send it in my tap-out gear to my seamstress, have her throw a little leopard on it, go into business for myself a little bit.
Right.
And, just keep to it. But, we wore suits for the past, 3 years at NXT? Yeah. Past 3 years at NXT, this is brand new. They just lightened up the dress code when they said you could wear tap-out. So I've been waiting to hear that for, almost 4 years now. We've been wearing suits to TVs.
The tap-out stuff is sweet, though. The stuff they gave us, unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's comfortable. It's good stuff.
I'll put in a word to Mark Carano. Send the kid here a care package of tap-out. Mark Carano, I know you listen to the podcast. Hook a brother up. 316 Gimmick Street, Marina Del Rey, 90292. Back to you guys. Let's talk tag team wrestling because I love tag teams, and I watched you guys match again with Dash and Dawson. I love that one spot when you was trying to get back to Big Cass, and you run across the ring, and one of the guys knocked you out. I like the way they double-teamed you, took you out of the picture. So I like a lot of things that you guys do. I like a lot of things that Dash and Dawson do. That's tag team wrestling. Big Cass, growing up or now that you've had a chance to be over there at NXT, you're in the grind, in the trenches, you guys are watching film. Do you have any favorite tag teams?
Man,
don't come up with no bogus answer because I'll reach over and knock the hell out of you. Come on, Big Cass.
I mean, a tag team that me and Enzo get compared to a lot that we definitely model ourselves after in a certain degree is the New Age Outlaws. Growing up, I was a big New Age Outlaws fan.
I think, we draw that correlation quite often on the internet. So I've been hearing it forever. But growing up, I was a huge fan of Road Dogg, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I loved Road Dogg. And it's funny now because we get to work with him all the time. And last week, I gave him an old Road Dogg shirt that I had.
Yeah.
And it says roll a dog a bone on the back, and it has a picture of a bone, and on the front it says like doing it doggy style. So it's like a real throwback Attitude Era T-shirt. But you can see the comparison, obviously.
Y'all ever go back and watch the old Arn and Ole stuff? Ways to cut off a ring.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys. To me, I mean, you guys. Didn't they initially start you guys off as heels, but because you guys are just kind of catchy, it's kind of swinging baby, and I would call you babies, right?
Yeah,
because to pop you guys, y'all did a promo this past week, which was stellar. I enjoyed it out there with the Dudleys. And they came to the ring. Looked like there was going to be some interaction. There was none. So they powdered. They got the heel boo. But to me, just with you guys' presentation, with the energy, with the swagger, it just spells babyface. I mean, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah. Well, we're like I said, we're character heels. I guess you could call us. We're heels, but we're not heels because the people cheer for us, so we're babyfaces.
So then, why would you call yourself a character heel? What about a
because
character
in life, I always say, like, I want this written on my grave, on my tombstone, is if you don't walk into every situation in life trying to see exactly how much you can get away with, you'll never know how truly brilliant life can be. That is my motto.
Is that the hustle in you from way back?
That's me.
Yeah.
So, I'm cutting corners out here. I've never waited in a line in my life. I had a weekend of that in L.A. I mean, I just came to Hollywood, and last night I was hanging out with the Kardashians and The Weeknd, literally the Grammy Award-winning artist. Well, it was only Chloe and Kylie, and Chloe was extremely nice. I mean, she was. I didn't really get a chance to talk to Kylie, but Chloe was very nice, introduced herself, I introduced myself, and I was out there mixing it up with these people. And what I'm saying is kind of like that finagling your way into situations is kind of my way of life. And that character is on screen isn't a babyface.
Right.
That character is just me staying true to myself.
To me, that character is entertaining.
That's
so
all it
therefore
is.
I like him.
So me and Cass are the same in that regard. Is he grew up quick, fast-witted, New York City, get to the front of the line. I'm not sitting here waiting for you people. You know what I mean? So get the hell out of my way.
Right.
And that's kind of what we do on screen. You know, and I think that down at NXT that caught a little fire because definitely at the beginning we were booked as heels, and then we got booked as babyfaces.
What are your thoughts on that, Big Cass? Character babies? I mean, character heels? Or just guys that are entertaining and you letting the crowd make a decision?
Exactly.
I think you let the crowd make a decision. I think the dynamic that we have is very relatable and endearing. It's, you know, we got the smaller of the two just running his mouth. You know, he's talking all this smack because he knows he's got the big guy behind him. And I can mess with Enzo, but the second anybody else messes with Enzo, whoa.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
That's what I can do to you. You can't mess with him. So he runs his mouth, and the second anybody's got a problem with it, it's like, whoa. Now it's time for me to step up. I think it's a good dynamic, and I think it gives us it makes us very endearing because that's just my opinion because I feel like a lot of people can relate to that situation or they have friends that can relate to
It was funny watching you guys go out for that promo this past week on Monday, and I just fast forwarded through the whole show just so I could watch y'all's promo segment. And they got people out there saying, hey, you can't teach that. I mean, they're making the arm motions. They're lip syncing with you guys, and they're having fun when you guys go out there. We're in Los Angeles right now, and this is your second time out here, Enzo?
Second time in life.
Second time in life.
Second Monday Night Raw.
Okay, Cass.
Never been here before.
So have you been here not long enough to really form an opinion of LA?
I haven't formed an opinion. I do have an opinion of LAX. That place is an absolute nightmare. That's the only thing I've seen so far. And the hotel we stayed in downtown is immaculate, but the airport was. And I've been to JFK, you know, at peak hours during the holiday season.
I don't dig JFK.
Man, me neither. But at this yesterday was a nightmare, man. It was like nothing I've ever seen.
I mean, I live right down the road from LAX, and every now and then, and thankfully it's never happened while I was catching the flight to go somewhere, but you always get some asswipe who wants to do the old bomb scare thing, and so they shut down the whole damn thing, clear everybody out. I mean, because it's been a threat.
Often?
Not often. I mean, every now and then
it
it
happens
does.
once, that's often.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, that's just how stupid people are. I mean, God, is that the best thing you got on your schedule? Is, hey, man, I'm gonna call up some random place and say, hey, bomb scare. That's so damn stupid. So,
Yeah.
But O'Hare is a nightmare. I love the city of Chicago. It was one of my favorite towns to work in. But O'Hare, because of the weather, you know, that's a great airport. But the weather there sometimes can just you'll
What's
get
your favorite
froze up,
airport?
stranded. What?
What's your favorite airport?
Well, right now it's LAX because that means I'm coming home, or if it's San Antonio because it's a little bitty place. That means I'm going to my ranch. But I don't know if there is a good airport because it just means you're on the road.
We have one.
Well, I like Vegas because there's a lot of airports these days that don't serve drinks on Sunday, or they don't serve drinks until a certain hour in the morning.
Oh, yeah,
and so Vegas is 24/7. I dig Vegas for that reason.
24/7 at the airport.
24/7.
Yeah, we were out at WrestleMania in Dallas or Houston or wherever. We were in Houston, and they wouldn't. I wanted to get a little drink before I got on this plane, and the flight was like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was at the airport at like 5 a.m. So what the hell else am I going to do besides try to get hammered before I sit on this plane?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't serve drinks until 7 a.m. It was like, it's 6. Is it really? You know what I mean? Like, why can't you just give me a friggin' drink?
Yeah.
6 o'clock in the morning. Someone else drink at 6 a.m. That's their prerogative.
Bloody Mary, yeah, it gets.
Dude, Bloody Mary, vodka, orange juice. I mean, that's my
exactly.
go-to drink in the morning. You go have 3 or 4 of those, take a little cat nap, wake up, bada boom, you're there.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, man, one of my favorite buildings to work in was Chicago Rosemount Horizon. I still call it. I know they renamed it, but I think the ceiling is kind of wood, and the acoustics are phenomenal. They're off the charts there. And I like the Garden because the Garden was magic because of all the badass people that have played there. And you go through the halls, and you see all the pictures of the famous cats that played there. Dallas, Texas, a sportatorium, a beer that smelled like piss, hot dogs, more beer and just pretzels and hot dogs and sweat. And that was a great
Cigarette
building.
smoke.
What's your guys' favorite building to work in? Have you guys been around enough to pick a favorite place?
Bucket list. That's all we got.
So we're looking forward to doing the All-State in a few weeks, and that's for the pay-per-view. And then, of course, bucket list is the Garden because we both went to shows there as kids.
Oh, baby.
That's on our bucket
So y'all
list.
haven't worked there? Have you been there to watch a show as
the
part
Garden,
of NXT?
yeah. Of course.
We went to one show where because we wanted to go see our buddies. It was their first time at the Garden. This was like 2 years ago, NXT Holiday Tour. We just went and watched. So I rode the subway in, met Cass on the path. Me and him walked into the Garden, and that was when NXT first started getting its buzz, and I was just surprised people even knew who the hell we were.
Right.
But Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn had their first match against one another in the Garden, and those are our buddies. So we wanted to experience that, so we went and watched that backstage. It was the first time I'd ever been in that capacity at the Garden.
Man, I was down there right before I was going to do my podcast with Mick Foley, and I saw Neville. He was coming in on his crutches. What did he do? Did he do his knee or what?
He broke his leg on a baseball slide, fractures.
Yeah.
So it's not no surgery required.
Oh, good.
And I mean, if you ever saw him, he is Superman. So,
No, kid looks like $1 million.
Oh my God! I mean, so I would imagine that his bones are healing like Wolverine right now.
Yeah.
And he'll be back in no time.
Okay, so the leg break is better than ACL.
I'll tell you
PCL.
what. You want to talk wrestling? Some of the best wrestling I've ever seen in my life took place at NXT amongst maybe 20 fans to 150 fans.
Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, Cocoa Beach Armory. When Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn were both working on top at NXT. They were breaking out all the stops in front of 20 people in these armories, man. Dives that you've never seen before. Flips landed on their feet. Ridiculous high spots. Deep selling. Just going through the entire, just the spectrum of 2016 probably pro wrestling, I guess. Like, here's the example of it. Working on top in front of 20 people in the armory. And we got to see that every night for like a year. And we didn't realize what we were watching, Like at the time, I knew it was great, and I always sat around and I wanted to watch the main event through the curtain. I didn't want to watch it on TV because I knew how awesome it was to watch it. But the fans had no idea, what they were getting there. You're paying $10 to see this. Now it's like we're selling out arenas at 10,000 people and whatnot. 2 years ago, they were seeing this stuff for $5, $10.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about that after the break. I'm going to take a pause for the calls and sponsors, keep this show on the air I don't keep us on the air, and they let me do it twice a week, and I get paid for it, and you can't teach that. I'm coming right back with Enzo Amore and Big Cass. All right, you don't have to be the world's biggest golf fan to have fun playing 1 Week Fantasy Golf at DraftKings.com. And you can play for free if you use my promo code Steve. And you know how easy it is to play fantasy sports on DraftKings, and 1 Week Fantasy Golf ain't no different. You just pick 6 golfers before a tournament tees off. Stay under the salary cap and rack up points for streaks, per hole performance, tournament finishes, and more. Outscore the competition, and you could win. And the competition can be a custom league you create with your friends and family, or you can play against other DraftKings players. And DraftKings has more than just fantasy golf. You can play fantasy baseball, soccer, and even fantasy MMA. Millions of sports fans have already discovered the excitement of DraftKings. Now it's your turn to get in on the action for free. Go to DraftKings.com and use my promo code Steve to play for free. Fantasy golf contests begin when tournaments tee off. So hurry to DraftKings.com now to choose your golfers. And remember to use my promo code Steve to play for free. That's promo code Steve to play for free. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. All right, there's a new show coming to CMT, The Dude Perfect Show. You might know Dude Perfect as the internet trick shot superstars. What started as a hobby to avoid homework in college has evolved into a social media sensation. Dude Perfect is the #1 sports channel on YouTube. Dude Perfect has over 28 million followers and over 1.4 billion views. These guys are crushing the internet. And now they're taking their sports domination to a whole new level on CMT's new series, The Dude Perfect Show. They've got big-time guests like Aaron Rodgers, Chris Paul, Luke Bryan, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. They got big-time shots, stunts, and more than a few friendly battles. These 5 competitive friends always go big, making the impossible possible. And on this original series, they're going bigger than ever before. The Dude Perfect Show follows 5 guys, Tyler, Cody, Corey, Garrett, and Kobe, on an epic journey behind the shots and into their headquarters where they cook up their amazing ideas. The Dude Perfect Show premieres April 14th at 9/8 Central on CMT. All right, coming back. This was y'all's first WrestleMania experience or second?
My second, his third. I had a broken leg myself for what would have probably been my first.
And how did you break that leg? I read about that.
In practice, man. I was just there was a loose canvas.
Don't say practice.
Train.
Say you was working
Practice?
out.
Yeah.
Say you was
practice.
Say you was working out.
Yeah, I was
So what happened?
in there,
There you were practicing.
working on my ring technician abilities, putting on a technical spectacle in front of the eyes that were watching from the sky, as we would say. They had the cameras on, and basically I just caught my leg on the canvas, doing it bumping, and it just snapped. And want to hear
tibia, or what?
Whatever that one on the side there is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened.
It's a leg.
Well, I popped up, and I just looked up at everyone because they didn't know what happened. They're like, you all right? And I looked up at them, and I went, well, I just broke my leg. And Big Country, Braun Strowman was there.
Yeah.
And so nobody believed me when I said I broke my leg.
Hang on, Big Country. Is that his nickname?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
In the performance center. Before
Okay.
he got up
and
here.
We don't want to put that on a podcast that Braun Strowman is Big Country.
Yeah, so he's got a cult following of people who impersonate him on a regular basis in NXT. Do this, boys. So, you know what I mean? And he's a character, man. He's great.
So what happened? He comes over, scoops you up, or what?
So I break my leg. I look up. Nobody believes it. I go, all right. Trainer comes over. Sure enough, you broke your leg.
Now you're certified you in a bona fide stud. You didn't start
Didn't
crying,
sell it.
did you?
Didn't sell it.
Okay.
So I didn't sell it, so no one believed me.
Right.
So then they came over. The trainer says, okay, we got to put you in the friggin', in the ambulance. I said, screw the ambulance. You got a Toyota Camry, don't you? Sit me in the backseat of that. So then Braun Strowman physically picks me up over his shoulder, carries me to the Toyota Camry, puts me in the back seat. We go immediately to the orthopedic. I get x-rays. Sure enough, cracked straight through, broken like a son of a bitch. So I sit down at the chair. They go, hey, listen. I go, dude, just give me some painkillers or something. I don't know. I'm in a lot of pain right now. They go, we can't give you anything here. We're an orthopedic. You need to go to the hospital because we cannot perform surgery today. You need to be put in a cast, okay? So I looked at the guy like he was nuts. So you want me to get in the car and go drive 3 more miles to the friggin' hospital and get a cast put on my leg? Hand to the man. Our trainer, Tara, could tell the story. Big Cast knows it's true. I look at the doctor. I go, well, you could set this thing right here, right now and cast it, can't you? They go, yeah, but we can't sedate you. We can't put you under for it. I said, fucking get money, baby. Just go for it. I grabbed our trainer's hand as hard as I could. They cracked my bone back into place with no sedation whatsoever. You're hearing it, grinding, strap it. They got a nurse holding me down by the leg, a nurse holding me down up top. My arms are flailing. I'm cursing like a sailor. They snapped the thing back into place, cast it up, no painkillers. I look at my trainer. I'm like, we got to go to Steak and Shake, and me and her went and sat in the drive-thru at Steak and Shake. I had this broken leg. I get home. Big Cass has to carry me over his shoulder.
Up 2 flights of stairs to our apartment.
Like this?
No, over the shoulder.
Over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Over the shoulder. Big Cass carried me up 2 flights of stairs, laid me down on the side. I had my prescription getting filled. He went and picked up my prescription for painkillers. I'm going no sedation for like a week. I get the painkillers and popping them like candy. I'm freaking the hell out, like in a terrible way. Big Cass is running errands for me, doing the whole bit. I actually got a wheelchair. So literally this was 1 day in. I'm like, forget this. I can't deal with this. I ordered an electric wheelchair off Craigslist.
Oh, dude.
The guy wanted $500 for it. I sent Big Cash down to go finagle the deal with $200 cash.
All right, Big Cass, how did you finagle a $500 wheelchair down to $200?
Just talk the guy down, You just keep acting like you're going to walk away. You know what? Can't do that. And then finally he'll lower it a little more. Can't do that. And finally, just get the deal you want.
That's the street Queens in you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the short version. There was a lot more talking than that, but yeah.
He popped the wheelchair off, take it or leave it. Big Cass, he's got too much pride. He won't sit in it, so he uses the little hand gimmick to get it all the way up the elevator.
So he's just walking beside it, using the remote control.
He walked beside it.
I'd have rode that bitch like it's mine.
Oh, yeah. So we still got this thing. It's up in because I used it on TV. This was the whole
And
gimmick.
hold on, picture this. Downtown Orlando, right? Halloween, packed every bar, wall to wall, okay? Me and this guy and a few of our friends, we're going bar to bar, right? This guy's going from bar to bar in this wheelchair, dude.
Yeah.
zipping
And
around.
I got into words with a DJ.
You're my newest hero.
I'm zipping around downtown on this thing, beer and lap, and this DJ's playing music that I don't like, and I'm 3 sheets to the wind with a few pain pills in me, and I pop up and have a word for him, like this music's trash. Turn the shit off and put something good on, and they go and they try to kick me out of the bar, right? But I'm in a wheelchair.
Can't kick you out. You're in a wheelchair.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he said.
So I'm cutting a promo on him like, you can't kick me out. You guys, I'm suing you. You ain't got handicap accessibility. There's a curb here. What do you want me to ride
Handicap accessibility. That was his big talking
That was
point.
my big deal.
To stay in the
talking
bar.
point to stay in the bar. I'm like, what do you want me to push my wheelchair off the edge of this curb? So, I was doing that for a while there, riding around. And then I showed up to NXT TV. I put a leopard print car seat on the wheelchair. I threw leopard print duct tape all over it, and I showed up to TV. And I said, you guys aren't writing me off this television show. I mean, just come take a look at this, dude. I'm whizzing up and down hallways. This thing's picking up speed, man. Had the battery fully charged. I was ready. So me and Big Cass, when he was hurt, I would cut promos in a wheelchair and zip around backstage, and he would work.
It was kind of a blessing in disguise when he got hurt, because I think the feeling with me was he maybe just a little bit of Enzo's sidekick. Let's see what he can do without him.
Right.
So it gave me an opportunity to spread my wings and show them what I could do with in his absence, in terms of work, in-ring work and promo work, and I think I did it pretty well for myself.
You did great.
The one segment that I did that probably my favorite moment I've ever had in NXT, besides our matches with Dash and Dawson, was I had a singing contest with Aiden English on NXT television.
Get your eyes on that.
I'll Google that in on the network, try to find it.
It was.
I just watched it yesterday.
Can you
I didn't
sing?
even tell you that. I showed that to my buddy yesterday.
Pretty good singer. I mean, I'm not going to.
Well, you just belt out a couple of tunes for the Steve Austin Show listeners. I'm sure that if I surveyed that they would love that.
He's got pipes that blow exhaust.
Sing, wouldn't you?
He's got pipes that blow exhaust, this guy. I've been telling him. So that also, mind you, that part of time was crucial for me, too, because I'm out here hurt. And
what did you learn from that experience?
It was invaluable. Like, the amount of time on the shelf, I didn't waste my time. So I studied what it is that we do, our profession. I watched film all day, every day. And that was probably around the time that I started getting into a lot of the NWA stuff, a lot of wrestling that I probably wouldn't have gotten my eyes on if I wasn't hurt. So I watched a lot of tag team wrestling, a lot of Arn and Tully, and all those guys, man, all the greats, and studied them all. And more than anything, I took that time to write. And in that time period, actually, I have it on me, and I would love to show it to you. It's not something I show people, so people don't really get to see it. But I have a book that I wrote, and it's over 1,000 pages worth of promo material. And I wrote it mostly in the time period where I was hurt, because I thought to myself on my own devices, like, what can I do right now besides write promos to try to, because I can't wrestle. And that was me in my mind saying, the company's paying me. I'm on salary. I'm not going to sit on the shelf and waste their investment, and I'm investing in myself. So I just started writing like a lunatic, and I came up with this book that you hear remnants of all across the board whenever we're out there and whatnot. But more than anything for me, Cass was out there still spelling out soft in front of the Orlando audience, was still on screen as a presence, absolutely killed the segment with Aiden English singing. And I'm sitting backstage like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be on TV again, because my run has been, 4 or 5 months, and then I broke my leg, And we were hot right then and there in front of that audience, and I thought it could have all been over. Cash grabbed the torch and ran with it. And, when I came back, he set the stage for me to make a comeback, and the people anticipated it, with the body of work he put in while I was gone.
So what were you thinking in Big Cash? You got a chance to shine by yourself and show what you could do, spread your wings, like you just said. Did part of you, as you were going through this process, say, well, man, this is kind of cool being a single? Or were you clamoring, hey, man, let me get back with my partner, Enzo, and keep doing the tag team thing?
It was definitely cool, because I knew he was going to be out for 8 to 9 months. So I knew, man, this is, A, it's your opportunity to shine, and B, it's your opportunity to keep this thing going for when he comes back. So I kind of embraced it, and I was actually looking forward to to it after he got injured, kind of being on my own for a little bit, because I was confident, but deep down it was also a test for me, to myself, to prove to myself, okay, you are good on your own. You can do this without Enzo, and that's kind of what I feel like the company also was looking for. So I think I had so many matches with Aiden English on TV. I had a long feud with Aiden English, all stemming from this this singing contest.
You locked me in a closet on TV in my wheelchair.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
It was good TV back then, man.
Yeah.
And people don't know it because it was only on
how could you
Hulu.
lock a man in a closet?
So
in a wheelchair?
I think
The
if,
cash came from in the ring. He left his match to come save me. Opened up the closet door. Enzo's sitting there in a wheelchair.
So I think if it was a test for me, I definitely passed with flying colors. I think I did real well in the interim while he was gone, and it proved a lot to myself that.
So what was this singing contest you were having with Aiden English?
So Aiden English was this thespian, and he always sang on his way to the ring. So I approached the writer one time. I said, I could sing. So the writer said, okay, why don't you sing in promo class this week? Because I'm not going to book this unless I actually know for real that you can sing. Maybe you think you're good. So in promo class.
Oh, dude, I sing like a summit in the shower.
Yeah.
Just like George Strait. In my head, I do.
Yeah.
It's funny when I sing a song in my mind, I sound just like it. But when I try to sing in the shower, I ain't worth a flying shit. Please continue with the story. So he's going to.
Yeah, so I did in promo class, and I sang, and then I guess the writer, Ryan Ward, he booked the segment. So the segment was just good old-fashioned singing contest. So Aiden comes out.
I think the first and last.
Yeah, he sings his song. And then a suggestion from Joey Mercury that was really good. He said, when you first start your part singing, these people think you're going to suck.
Right.
So go up there and botch the beginning.
Yeah.
Calm yourself down, a few deep breaths, and then show them what you can do. So that was what it was. So I went up there right after Aiden sang, and I had to catch my breath. Everyone's like, oh, he sucks. Where are they going with this segment? And then I just started belting out the song. And Aiden got mad. We did a new round, and then after I showed Aiden up again, he clipped my leg.
Oh, the best was the
booking.
Rivalry. The best was the booking, though.
Yeah,
the rivalry.
Yeah, I lost. So if this was quite the rivalry. I lost to Aiden 4 times on television. Never got to win.
Unbelievable.
They may be trying to send you a message. What was the song you sang?
So I sang
Danny
Boy, but I sang it with my own lyrics directed towards Aiden. And then Aiden got mad because that was good, so I sang My Girl. But instead of saying...
which My Girl? OJ's used to be My Girl, or which My Girl?
I've got sunshine. That one, but I sang
Keep
it...
going.
Yeah, keep it up.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day when it's cold outside. I've got the month of May. Hey, I guess you'd say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, my girl, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl.
God dang! The kid chipped in there as well. Enzo Amore kicked in a little bit as well.
I was a soprano.
I'm telling you what, I'm going to get you guys out of your contract. We're going to take this trio. We're going to go out on the road. We're going to turn it into a singing act.
Yes, hell
All right,
yeah.
that's bullshit. That's never going to happen. Okay, so it was the second or third WrestleMania. There was 101,000 people there. Some people say there was 97,000 people there. I just know it was an all-time WWE record. I got a chance to go, before we go to WrestleMania, I got a chance to go to that NXT show, and I saw Bayley and Asuka work, and Asuka took the title from Bayley. That was a good match, a little bit different style. And then, God dang, man, Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn went out there, put on a clinic. Did you guys work?
No,
Did not.
No, I wasn't, but I was actually booked on WrestleMania. I don't know if you know.
No, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
But did you guys get a chance to see that card?
We watched.
yeah.
We watched from. There was in the back by the entrance. There was a curtain to the locker room that we came out of and watched it. Fans.
I wanted to
sitting,
feel
some,
it.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
fans sitting there. If they turned around, they saw us, but they didn't really care. So we watched from the crowd. And the opening match,
Dash Dawson, Jordan and Gable, man.
I missed that. Me and
Oh,
Kevin
You gotta
Nash.
get your eyes on that one.
Yeah.
Jordan and we've talked about Dash and Dawson. We've worked them a ton of times. We've had great matches with them, a good rivalry, and those guys are mechanics and they know what they're doing and they work like Art and Tully, as you've mentioned. You draw great comparisons there, but they're their own brand as well. Jordan and Gable, Jordan's been there as long as
he's been there. He came in to FCW a month after me, so seeing him perform and when he won the tag title, we both got emotional, me and him, because we kind of came in together and we've gone through the same ups and downs since being here.
And, he had a couple different tag teams that he was booked in and that never panned out. He had been pushed as a singles competitor. It didn't pan out. And he just found his jelly, man. Peanut butter and jelly. Him and Gable really clicked. The people got into him. Their work style's different, and it's awesome.
I got to check into these guys. I haven't watched
Gable's an Olympian. So Gable's a shoot Olympian wrestler, Roman Greco, whatever it is. Jordan was undefeated all through his senior year in college at Indiana, was predicted to win the heavyweight national championship.
Took a bad beat.
And took a loss that was unexpected and should have won. So, and had an outstanding, stellar, shoot wrestling career in college. Stud athlete. They put them two together, and they're clicking on all cylinders, and they do something that's so different is the way they implement amateur wrestling into their work. And the spots that they run and the things that they do, it's different, and there's a place for it that we you don't always see it. So
I got to get my eyes on these guys in because I haven't seen them. So I'll watch that. But here's the thing, man. Back in the day, there'd be a couple of guys with shoot backgrounds, and man, they had that shoot mentality. And like if you was just trying to shine them up, but you was going to shut them down for a second, they'd go like, "Hey, man, I'm an amateur wrestler. I'm a badass. This guy can't cut me off." And so they kind of strong arm you a little bit. And dude, I don't know nothing real. Everything I did was fake. Well, other than my right hand, that some bitch was coming. But all my stuff was pro wrestling. And so sometimes just that shooter mentality takes guys the wrong direction. I always look to I thought Ken Shamrock did a great job when he came in. He was actually trying to be a pro wrestler and had that successful MMA run. It was legitimately, for a time, the most dangerous man in the world, and then came to WWE. He was a sweetheart to work with as a guy that was really tough. But then when you speak of guys that really picked it up, Brock did. But Kurt Angle took it to a level that was like crazy. And I think Kurt Angle would go down as one of the best workers in the history of the business, and especially just the way he picked up the business. What weight division did these guys wrestle in? Are they big guys?
Jordan's a heavyweight, and Gable,
hell of fun, though.
197.
That's big enough.
Yeah. I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure he wrestled 197.
Gable right now,
right.
You can imagine he probably cut weight, but back then, but he walks around at somewhere around 200.
Yeah.
210, yeah.
210, anywhere between, that 210, 200.
So probably. People buying into him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they look like $1 million,
Right.
They got the physiques. Their work is good. And
their promos are excellent.
Yeah, the promos are good, too, you know what I mean? And they're, like you said, the shoot mentality. These guys are workers all the way. You know what I mean? They'll go out there, they'll sell for you.
So, talk about WrestleMania. What was y'all's favorite moment, or was there a favorite moment? I thought the three-way match with Becky and Charlotte and Sasha was one of the highlights for me. I thought those chicks put it on the line and had a badass match. I enjoyed that one very much. Yeah. Highlight or high spot for you guys?
The highlight was probably standing behind Stephanie McMahon and Triple H walking down the aisle on the ramp,
Yeah.
I was the first guy, in line there on the right with the skull mask on. So those that don't know it, but it was a bunch of NXT guys. As I told you, I was booked earlier, so I'm still waiting on my payout, but I was in the main event, so it should be good.
Tell that to Vince when you get that paycheck.
Yeah.
For me, besides the main event, because the main event is for the richest prize in the game. It's just got its whole feeling around it. The main event of the Roman and Triple H, it was just an amazing match. And but besides that match, I'd say my favorite moment, and I'm not here to blow smoke, man, but it was this segment with the Legends where you came out and you were throwing out stunners.
Oh yeah, and you don't understand what it's like for us because, like we told you, we used to do stunner parties at the Performance Center.
Yeah,
your music would just hit, and whoever's in the ring, people would just be feeding in full out, work mode, coming in, hot. Coming to throw punches and just get cut off. Boom, eat a stunner. Take that big rock, Dwayne Johnson bump out into the, out of the ring. And so when you stunnered Rusev, he took it like $1 million. Took a crazy bump.
I was talking to Rusev on the bus after, and he said that people were coming up to him and said, "How'd you know how to take the stunner so good?" He said, "I've been taking that thing my whole life." That's what we do.
Yeah.
Like everyone practices for that one moment where they take the stunner.
That's our favorite moment, hands down. You know, I got to see you, Shawn Michaels, and Mick Foley, who are literally, I mean, plus The Rock. These guys, and it's no coincidence. I mean, you guys are the top guys in your eras, but those are my 4 favorite wrestlers of all time. You know, and they're all, you know what I mean.
It was interesting. It was fun, and I'll give you guys. I wasn't even going to share this story. I'm going to share it with you guys. What had happened was I got a call from Vince. Hey man, you want to come down and do something for WrestleMania? I said, hey man, what you got in mind? He said, okay, just hit somebody with a stunner. I said, yeah man, I'm cool with that. And so all I knew is I was going to hit somebody with a stunner. Didn't really know what was going to happen. In the meantime, after I'd already committed to Vince to be there, you know, on April 3rd, I tore my rotator cuff in my right shoulder. I tore the hell out of it. My infraspinatus, supraspinatus, and it hurt like a bitch. So anyway, I go in there and I'm thinking, man, okay, all I got to do is a stunner. So if I got a rotator cuff, I can't really work out. I can't do nothing with my arm. I could barely drink beer. This is my beer drinking arm. That's what I was most upset about.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, in between saying, you know, I said, man, how am I going to get through this? Man, be good. I just kick him in the gut and give him a stunner. Well, you got to get it into a setup situation. So that means the way, you know, the 4 guys were standing there, and then New Day pulled out Wade Barrett. That left us 3, and me and Rusev was paired off. And so, man, we had to start throwing punches. I threw that first punch at Rusev, and I swear to God, it was the first, second, and third one, and hit him right in the mouth or the nose, and he was in the corner, and he's bleeding. And I felt so bad for him because I really like Rusev. He's such a nice guy, and on TV he's a heel. And I think he did an interview with somebody who said because of that he'll never listen to my podcast again. So that was great. But I felt so bad for cracking him, and it was either the nose or the mouth, but he started bleeding. When I threw that first punch, I ripped everything in my shoulder, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you can't stop throwing now. So we finished the gig, gave all the stunners, start calling for the beer, and my shoulder's about to fall off. And so anyway, as I sit here talking with you guys, I'll head back. I'm thinking in 8 days I get this thing patched up. And so what was going to be kind of like maybe a routine job is going to turn into a major job. Dude, you ever jacked up a rotator cuff?
I got a torn something or other.
Labrum?
Yeah.
Something? Yeah. But yeah.
I just worked through it, but I've been going to physical therapy for the past 5 months avoiding surgery.
Yeah, that's as high as I can pick that arm up right there. Yeah, that ain't shit. Yeah. Now, see, here's the thing. When you're out there and you first do it, it's one thing because you're warm, the adrenaline's flowing, and you got 100,000 people out there jazzing you up, so you don't feel nothing. But then afterwards, man, I was in my damn dressing room, and I'd brought a bunch of Broken Skull IPA. And on a Broken Skull IPA note, I was out there catching all those beers, and JBL, who I love, goes, yep, he's having him a Steve Weiser. And I'm thinking to myself, God dang it, it's a Broken Skull IPA. This was WrestleMania 32. There's a star with 32 on the can. We built these cans specifically for WrestleMania 32. And he couldn't say Steve was having an ice cold Broken Skull IPA. He called it a Steve Weiser. So for everybody that listens to the podcast, God dang it, those were El Segundo, Steve Austin, Broken Skull IPAs that were flying through the air. And get this. We go back to the dressing room, and it's me and Mick, and Mick's in there. And Mick don't even really drink beer. And I traveled with Mick for years. And he drank one beer, and, of course, I had to give him another beer out there. And we're in the dressing room, and he goes, you know, Steve, I don't drink a whole lot of beer, but your beer is very good. And then Cena came in and drank a beer with me. And then Sheamus comes right in, because Sheamus, y'all know Sheamus? He can drink a lot of beer.
Great guy to us.
Sheamus drank 3 Tall Boy Broken Skull IPAs in about 6 minutes. he goes, Steve, did you bring any more, mate? I said, God dang, dude. I said, I got one more. I said, that one's for me. Don't touch it. So Sheamus got a kick out of the beer. So it was fun to do business with those guys and to go out there with Sean and Mick and guys that I respect so much. And those guys doing business with us. And then, you know, New Day joining in and Xavier taking a stunner. It was a fun moment for me. And it would have been cool if JBL would have said Broken Skull IPA, but I'm going to get over it. Somehow, some way, I'm going to be okay. I might need Big Cass to sing me a song before we ride off into the sunset.
I'll serenade you to get over it.
Before we...
give me the Sherry Baby when you get a chance.
Oh, dude, you got Sherry Baby?
Oh,
You got to.
I need more water than this to bust that out.
Okay,
no,
okay. I ain't even got no water either. I got 2 sandwiches.
There's a video I sang it in Asbury Park, New Jersey on an NXT show.
Listen, nobody's judging here. You know what I'm saying? We're just out here.
I mean, I could really hit the high note on it. It's a tough one, though.
Go ahead and try
That's
it.
the one to ride off into the sunset.
It's a free show.
Yeah, here we go, riding into the sunset.
Hold on. Sherry, Sherry baby, Sherry, Sherry baby, Sherry baby.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I think you missed your calling.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We got to get you on television. And I don't mean in a wrestling ring. God dang, what's that show? What's that show where you
American
sing?
Idol or something?
Yeah, American Idol.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is. Chris Jericho was on one of those shows, and he got eliminated on one of the first rounds, and he fronts his own band. And I love Chris Jericho. I'm cribbing you, Chris. Hey, we're here in L.A. You guys are about to go fire up and do Monday Night Raw. When y'all hauling ass, what's the next gig for you guys?
Tonight, we don't know what we're doing yet. We're
Tonight,
going to go downstairs
we're
and
here,
talk to them.
And then, I just go with the flow.
SmackDown San
But
Diego.
what's the next town?
San Diego tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't even know because
Yeah.
literally my deal is
Backseat.
I
He's the
just
backseat guy.
follow Big Cass because he's my tag team partner, and I assume that he knows where we're going.
Yeah, San Diego.
So that goes for like backstage segments, work in the ring, making towns, just hotels, rental cars. Just you name it. Just hey, Cass, what are we doing? So.
All right, hey, you guys continue to be one of my favorite. Well, I think you're highly. You're probably my favorite tag team going right now. So
Hell
keep
yeah.
doing what you're doing. Keep that swagger, Enzo and Big Cass. Keep those big fiery comebacks. Lay your shit in. Keep doing what you're doing. You're selling like $1 million, and you're both getting your shit in. So y'all continue success. Stay away from the injuries and safe travels on the road and flat back landings.
Thank you very much.
Good talking to you guys again. I appreciate it. Everybody, I had a lot of feedback on the first show, so I said, what the hell? I'm driving down to Staples Center, talk to these guys again and get another show out of them. I'm talking to Enzo Amore and Big Cass, 2 superstars on the rise, and that's the bottom line because I said so. All right, y'all know I couldn't do this podcast every week if not for all the great sponsors supporting it, and I wouldn't have all these great sponsors if you guys weren't supporting them. So swig of water to all the Steve Austin Show listeners for supporting the sponsors who keep this podcast free. I'm talking about my buddy Diamond Dallas Page, DDP Yoga, and his new DDP Yoga Now app. You can download DDP's great new app at iTunes or the Google Play Store. Dallas has done thought of everything with this app. He's got all the workouts on it, a link so that you can do live workouts from the DDP Yoga Performance Center in Georgia. He's got recipes, nutrition tips, and even cooking demonstrations so you can learn how to prepare healthier meals for yourself. He's even got a rewards program built in so that the more yoga you do, the more points you earn, and then you can redeem those points for some great DDP Yoga merch and other rewards. And right now, you can get 3 free months of the DDP Yoga Now app when you buy the DDP Yoga program at ddpyoga.com/Austin. That's right. Dallas is giving all you guys a special deal. Just go to ddpyoga.com/Austin to take advantage of it. As Dallas always says, all you have to do to start living a healthier lifestyle is commit to the program. So get started now at ddpyoga.com/Austin. All right, everybody, give me the go-home cue. It's time to wrap up this podcast and ride off into the sunset. I would like to thank my guests today, Big Cass and Enzo Amore of NXT/WWE. It's good talking to you guys today. It's always fun talking to you. Great stories, by the way, and a great singing voice by Big Cass. Who would figure this big, fearsome guy could sing like an angel? And, of course, Enzo Amore with the wheelchair storylines. Those 2 guys cracked me up. A lot of talent there. Good luck to those guys. Safe travels to all the WWE superstars as they head down the road to their next television taping. And as busy as they are, yeah, it's great to see the few guys and gals that I did get a chance to say hello to. Swig a beer to WWE. They in town tonight, and we'll see how that Monday we'll see how that Monday Night Raw shakes out here pretty quick in a couple hours as they go live, and this podcast drops the day after. Anyway, hey, man, like I said, Broken Skull Challenge got preempted by that award show, but the toughest show on television, the toughest show on television returns this Sunday, 8, 7 Central on CMT. And all them badass shirts you seeing me wear, you can get those at BrokenSkullRanch.com. If you want to order Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing, you can order it at BrokenSkullRanch.com. If you want that Steve Austin Broken Skull knife for cold steel knives, you can get it at BrokenSkullRanch.com. Here in California, if you want Broken Skull IPA, you can get it at Whole Foods and Total Wine. You can order it on the internet at InsideTheCellar.com. Hey, man, I appreciate all the word-of-mouth advertising you guys are doing on behalf of this podcast, and we ain't got no advertising budget up in this thing, so when you guys tell a couple cats about the show and help spread the word, I appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all supporting the sponsors of the Steve Austin podcast, because if it wasn't for those people, I would not be doing this show for free twice a week. So let me give a shout-out to DDP Yoga and the DDP Yoga Now app, to Movement Watches. Go to MVMTWatches.com and use my promo code Steve to get 15% off your entire order. To Weebly.com/Austin. To WorksSwitchDriver.com. Use the promo code Steve to get 10% off and free shipping. To DraftKings.com. Use my promo code Steve to play for free. And, of course, a big thanks to Amazon, who have been supporting this show since day one. Hey, folks, one of the best ways you can support the show and not have to use any of your money doing it is by using my Amazon links. What happens is if you make a purchase, Amazon will kick back a few bucks to the podcast. They don't charge you anything extra. There's no added cost. It's you using Amazon shopping. By using my link, they kick back a frog's hair of money to the podcast so that we can pay our production costs and keep the lights running and keep allowing me to do this show for free twice a week. To find my Amazon links and all of my sponsors, go to podcastone.com. Click on the Killer Deals button in the top right corner of the page, and then hit the Steve Austin Show button. That will take you to all of the links for Amazon USA, Amazon UK, Amazon Canada, and all of my sponsors. And I appreciate you guys supporting the sponsors, using my Amazon links. If you bookmark that thing, it makes it very easy to find, and that's how I'm able to do this show for free twice a week. Hey, keep listening, folks. The 60-second AP News headlines are coming up next. And until next time, my name is Steve Austin, and I will catch your ass down the road.
Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
I want to say thank you to Drop Stop, one of the great sponsors of this show. Drop Stop is the original patented seat gap filler, as seen on TV's Shark Tank. Get the original Drop Stop at buydropstop.com and use code STEVE for 2 free gifts and free shipping. Stay tuned for the latest AP News headlines from Podcast One right after this.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
AP Update, I'm Ross Smithson. Adam Schiff, the ranking Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, says U.S. officials are talking to French intelligence personnel as they try to determine what caused a Paris to Cairo flight to fall out of the sky over the Mediterranean.
Is there any information that we have that would shed light on any of the passengers? But there's nothing yet to confirm the cause of the plane crash.
FBI Director James Comey says intelligence agents from around the world, including some of his, are collaborating on possible causes of the Egypt Air crash.
So far, at least, we have no claim of responsibility or evidence that this was an intentional act, but the FBI, as you would expect, is working with our partners around the world to try and gain a better understanding of what happened. Given that we don't see any indication yet.
None of the 66 people on board American. AP Update, I'm Ross Simpson.